Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Confidence Conversation. This is episode number 52, believe it or not. So this evening I'm just going to waffle a little bit to give, I nearly said Skype then, Facebook the time to reach people and let people know that this is live so that they can join. And as people do join, do drop in and say hi. Any other comments, tag some friends if you want to, whatever it may be. So as you join, then just say hi, really. It's nice to have you here. So if you are watching this or listening to this for the first time, then my name is Jules Wyman and I am a confidence coach. That is how I spend most of my days, is working with people to help them have a different perspective on what confidence is, because there is a great deal of information out there. Whether we're aware of it, we're consciously or actively looking for it or not, there is a huge amount of information out there about what confidence is, how to get it, how to boost it, how to build it. And much of what is out there is hinders confidence, hinders real confidence, as opposed to helping. So I spend my time, I love what I do, helping people to get clarification on what confidence actually is, so that they can experience it for real for themselves, no matter whether it's raining or a sunny day, whether their bank balances are full or empty, whether they're with the love of their life or single, that they can experience feeling comfortable and confident in their own skin. Talking of feeling comfortable and confident in your own skin, that sounds like I scripted it to be that way, but I didn't really. Well, I didn't at all, not really. The topic for this evening, episode number 52 of the Confidence Conversation, is all about, and she says before she does that, I just want to check that this has and is going live okay, and that it is out there. Yes, it is, which is fantastic. So I know it does take a while and people have got to tune in depending on how their signal is. It's not always easy to jump on board straight away. But this evening, and it does keep coming up again and saying at the top of my screen that the connection is, let me see if this makes a bit of a difference or not. The connection is weak, so some people may have a challenge, but I know I can see it coming out on my other device. I am a little bit pixelated, but it's not about looking at me really. It's about listening and seeing what conversation we can have this evening and where that conversation can go in relation to body confidence and what the heck is it? It's something that I have become more aware of for myself as I've got older, but it's obviously something that's been in the background of my life, even more so as a woman, but that doesn't mean to say that it's not there for men as well. But it's a conversation that happens so frequently, and so kind of like it's just par for the course, a bit like in Britain talking about queuing, or the weather is par for the course. Having a conversation about body and how you feel about your body is kind of par for the course in my conversations, not just as a coach, but I do think more so as a woman. And I just got to thinking about body confidence and actually, what the heck is it? What is body confidence? When we talk about having body confidence, what are we really talking about? Because what I've noticed a lot, and by the way, this isn't something that I spend a lot of my time working with clients on or even working on for myself. So this really is an exploratory conversation, and I would love you to join in as you get part of the conversation, and that's why it's a conversation as opposed to a lecture, is that what I seem to be noticing a lot of is that for people, it seems to be that if you have body confidence, that what that means is you're happy with being naked in front of people, having your photo taken with very little, if anything, on, And I'm just wondering if that is what it really means. And as I say, I don't know the answer. This is just something that I started thinking about the other day through a number of different conversations that I'd had with people. It was partially sparked from, I don't know if you've come across Taryn Brumfitt and her body confidence movement, and her movie Embrace, which I saw last week for the first time. And it has then sparked other conversations about confidence and what it is, or body confidence specifically and what it is. And then I noticed that there were a number of people who, to show that they were over it with their bodies and that they felt better about their bodies, that meant exposing them. That meant having photos taken where they were naked or in sexy lingerie or in bikinis, and obviously most of these are women. I don't really tend to see this happening with guys. It's not to say it doesn't happen, it's just that's not been my experience of seeing it. And I just got to wondering if that's what body confidence really is. Is it just about being naked and being happy with being naked in front of people? I know if I was going to look at it and go down that route with it, I know that years ago, probably when I was an awkward teenager, but also, very definitely into my mid-20s as well, is that if I was going to a clothes shop and wanted to try something on, I would have waited for a single cubicle as opposed to have gone into one of the communal cubicles, where there could be anything from, nobody in there to, or I remember going into one once, actually, and I think it's probably what put me off, is there about 12 girls and women in there. And I was very conscious about my body. I never felt confident in my body. I always felt that I was in the wrong body, not from a gender questioning perspective, but from it wasn't the right body for the clothing that was out there. I was a child in the 80s, and clothing just didn't seem to fit me. Clothing didn't seem to look good in my view. And I had people making comments about my shape. I remember in my early 20s, I think I was 21 at the time, a boss of mine, I remember him poking my hips and my thighs, and just going, I don't get it. This bit doesn't match this bit, and then pointing to my top. And at that age, I mean, he was in his 40s, and that age, I really took on board on what he said, and so I was always very conscious of my body in the sense of trying to cover it up. But I feel very different now. I feel far more comfortable and confident in my body, and yet that doesn't mean to me that I have to go and take photos of myself in sexy lingerie or any lingerie or in a bikini or have a naked boudoir photo shoot. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not criticising these things at all. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with them in the slightest, because if that helps you to see your body and experience your body in a different way, then go for it. That's fantastic. I'm just wondering if that is the only thing that body confidence is. Is that the only thing that body confidence means, is that you're happy with being naked? If you're watching this on the recording, I can tell there are people jumping on and off, and usually when that's happening live, that means that the connection that either is transmitting this side or the reception, their connection the other side, isn't quite matching up now. As I say, I can see on my iPad next to me here that this is it seems to be clear from the connection here, but I'm on the same connection, so I don't know. But if you are watching this either live or as the recording, I'd love to know what your thoughts are. When somebody talks about being body confident or having body confidence, what does that mean to you? You know, is it about being able to wear a bikini on the beach, or being able to be naked with your partner and not have to turn the light off? Is it about being comfortable with seeing yourself naked in the mirror? What does body confidence actually mean to you? Feel free to write your answers either in here. Don't necessarily wait for me to stop talking, basically. Because as I say, I'm aware that the connection seems to be not the best this evening for people, because the numbers are jumping in and out of viewers. And that usually means, in my 52 episode experience, that usually means that there's a connection challenge. So I would really love to know, whether you're watching the recording or whether you're watching this live, what does body confidence mean to you? So for me, as I said, I now feel physically very different in my body. And I don't feel the urge to go and do any of those things that I was talking about a moment ago. And as I say, that I'm not making them right or wrong. It just doesn't seem like something that I personally need to do. But I think for me, one of the aspects of where my body confidence has come about is understanding my body shape, understanding this physical thing that I'm in, and therefore what clothes work with it, understanding this skin tone and this skin colour, and working out what colours work with it, and understanding what clothes best fit my shape. And the reason that means I feel even more confident within my body is that when I go shopping, if I'm trying something on and it doesn't fit, I know very clearly that I need a bigger size in this or a smaller size in this. Or I know, do you know what? This shop doesn't cut things in the way that fits this body shape, or this style doesn't suit me, or I have a very different way of relating to clothing and a very different way of relating to this body. Does that make sense? Give me some thumbs up or hearts, or make a comment if this is making sense. So for me, I know that that's one aspect of how, and I know that I feel far more body confident now than I've ever done. Another part of it that I feel more confident, and this is very much female based, is that I now know, and it's taken me a number of decades to get to this understanding. I wish I'd have had this knowledge at least 30 years ago, is that I know that my body, I'm a woman, my body changes with the times of the month. And that's not literally when I have my period, but that's pre, that's post, there's a fluctuation. It is like it's like a tide. It's kind of on the move. So I now, rather than being ashamed of that or being worried about that or berating myself for that, I have clothes, for example, that I only wear when I feel like that, because they make me feel different, because they fit in a different way, and therefore I describe my body in a different way to myself, and therefore I feel better about my body. Is this making sense? So that's another aspect. So for me personally, it's been about understanding the body shape that I have, and recognizing, I have a long body and short legs. So therefore, certain cuts of trousers, for example, or lengths of skirt or dress are going to make me look really, really tiny and really quite wide. I know that certain colours are going to wash me out. I know that other colours are going to make my skin look more vibrant. That's just because that's how this works. It doesn't make it right or wrong. I haven't got Julia Roberts' legs. I'll never have Kylie Minogue's bum. So why beat myself up about it? I needed to learn and understand about this body, and then believe in and understand and get to understand from a female perspective the physical changes that this body is moving through every single month, so that I can appreciate that and be confident in that, not make it wrong, be comfortable and confident in my own skin. The third thing for me that has been kind of quite a revelation in some senses ever since I was little, and in fact, before I could walk, I danced. My mum wrote in my baby book on a number of occasions, still dancing, still moving, still dancing. And the moment there was any music on, and if you've ever been around me when there's music on, if it's a tune that I like, or if it grabs me, I'll be off. I'll be wanting to have a boogie. And that's been there ever since I was small. But I was always quite a conscious dancer. Once especially about I hit 14 or hitting my teenage years. And when I say dancer, don't get me wrong, I'm not talking kind of professional dancer or anything like that. I just mean somebody who liked to move at a discotheque. But I was kind of like, I'd be quite conscious, and I'd be watching other people thinking how cool they looked, and that I felt really awkward. So even though I was doing something I loved, I didn't feel confident in my own body. I didn't feel comfortable in my own body. And a number of years ago, I started to discover ways that I enjoyed moving my body and let go of what anybody else thought. And one of it may sound quite bizarre, but it was an amazing process that I went through, which was we had a very safe space in the sense that I wasn't going to trip over anything, or if I did hit any walls, you kind of got used to it. But there were about 12 of us, I think, in the room, and it was a completely pitch black room. And I was blindfolded. We were all blindfolded, and some music was put on. So it was, following the old adage of dance like no one is watching. Well, no one was watching because they were all blindfolded and doing their own thing as well. So yeah, occasionally we might bump into each other, but it was a big enough room to be able to give us that freedom of space. And I started to notice that my body liked to move in certain ways. And then I discovered 5 rhythms, and then I discovered Zumba, and then I discovered all these other different things that it enabled me to just get used to that this body likes to move in a certain way, and that body moves in a different way, and that body moves in a different way. And that's helped me become even more confident in my own body and more comfortable in my own skin. And actually, as I'm saying that, the word that's coming to my mind is body confidence actually about connection with your own body, connection to your body, understanding what it needs from a health perspective, what it needs from a physical movement perspective, how it needs to be appreciated and taken care of. I don't know. It was just as I was saying that then, that word connection came to mind, and I thought that might be something to offer out there. So as it's less of a conversation this evening, in the sense of there doesn't seem to be many people being able to come on live. As I say, there's a lot of people dipping in and out, which usually means that the connection is a bit of a challenge. Just as I've said that, it's come up again and said that the connection is weak. So they're my thoughts. I did... there was another thing that I wrote down. So I did write down some ideas earlier as to what body confidence meant to me, and how my relationship with this physical body thing has changed over the last few years. And one of the other things, I remember I avoided, there was a part of me that knew that yoga was really good. And there was a part of me that didn't believe that I could do yoga, because I'm not built to do yoga, am I? Because, I'm not svelte, I'm not bendy, I can't possibly do yoga. And yet I had kind of like an introductory class, a retreat that I was at. And this lovely Scottish guy had a beautiful way of phrasing things. So when he was teaching us about a certain asana, a position for the body to go into, a posture for it to hold, he would demonstrate the position, and he would help us get into the position if we needed it. But one of the things that he said that really stuck with me is that he would show the posture, and he would say, and some bodies will be comfortable like this, and other bodies would be comfortable like this, and other bodies might be comfortable like this. And he would always give 2, 3, sometimes 4 different versions of these particular asanas, these particular postures, highlighting that different bodies physical bodies, because of the skeletal structure as well as the muscular structure, that for some positions are far easier than others. Now, I have a friend who is a yoga teacher as well now, and she's very different body shape to me. And she's bendy and she can go this way and do all of that kind of stuff. When it comes to doing back bends and back stretches, my body is really comfortable doing those, and I can go quite far with them, whereas her body is less comfortable going back that far. But they're not right or wrong. It was a real shift for me was just understanding that these bodies are all different. So I suppose what I'm offering as a thought, I would have loved a body confidence conversation this evening. It's a shame that the signal isn't that great to enable that to happen. But my thoughts are that body confidence is actually more about understanding the body that you have and being comfortable in your own skin, and not letting yourself, let alone anybody else, do any of this body shaming stuff, of making yourself wrong. You know, if you go in to buy some clothes, for example, and they don't fit, then quite often it's because of the cut of them. It's not to do with your body shape, or rather it's to do with your body shape not fitting the designer stuff and the way that it's not about you. It's that they're not making it for real bodies, and the real bodies that exist right now. And I just wonder what would happen for your confidence and your relationship with your body when you start to move it physically in a way that your body enjoys. And you may have the kind of body that loves going running or swimming or mountain climbing or walking, or every body, physical body, has a different way of enjoying being moved about. So they're my thoughts. If you are watching this on the recording, then I would love to know your thoughts. This is a conversation. This isn't a hard and fast, these are the facts. This is my experience. This is my ramblings and my thoughts on what the heck is body confidence anyway. And I really would love to know your thoughts on it, your insights, your experience. If anything that I have said tonight has resonated with you, then leave your comments below, or it might have sparked some more questions. Leave those questions below, or if you're not confident enough to do that and you want to message me directly, you can do on the page. Just see where the message bit is. She says, looking over, thinking, how do you actually do that? I can't remember. But there is a way on there to be able to message me. Or if you prefer email, you can email me, jules@juleswyman.com. And I really would love to hear your thoughts. Do you think that what I've said is a load of twaddle? Do you think that you have to be able to be comfortable naked to be confident in your own skin? What are your thoughts? I'd love to know. So thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for watching. And I look forward to speaking to you again soon. Take care. Bye.